YouTube. Welcome to Bama's Very Own Speaks. I am Bama's Very Own, back again with an ever so important video for the people, for the culture. One of the trending topics is the R.Kelly Docu Series, which is broken down into 6 episodes that premiered on Lifetime over a 3-night period. I mean, people are talking about this all over the internet right now, and I don't want to speak too much into the actual R. Kelly docuseries. I'm not defending R. Kelly because everybody already knew R. Kelly was R. Kelly. I mean, that's nothing new. But what I do want to discuss is black people, fake outrage and hypocrisy when it comes to these scandals and allegations. And particularly the black female, the black woman, okay? Now, I know John Legend helped with this project and some black men as well, but more importantly, the black women, okay? Who were still stepping in the name of love and dancing to Ignition and bopping their heads to Fiesta, Fiesta, and still supporting R. Kelly and buying all his concert tickets, knowing that he liked young women, okay? And all of a sudden, they see this surviving R. Kelly docuseries, and all of a sudden, they're outraged. Like, for 20 years, they ain't know 12 play actually meant 12 play. Like, they didn't understand that I don't see nothing wrong with a little bump and grind. Like, keep it on a down low, nobody has to know, didn't mean anything. But now, since everyone has saw this docuseries and that's all people talk about on the internet, now it's a problem. Because everybody already can agree. We can all agree that R. Kelly is sick. Okay, R. Kelly like little girls. He has a long track record of that. But during this docuseries, you only see one side, and it really absolves any responsibility on those young victims and or their parents. Because if it was truly by force, if he truly forced you guys, even though R. Kelly is doing shows, busy, if he truly forced those victims to stay at the house and kidnap them, then R. Kelly would be in the jail. I don't care how rich he is, he's still a black man at the end of the day. R. Kelly will be locked up now and not a free man. So this is an assassination on character. But I digress. I want to support my claim that this is fake outrage and hypocrisy on the black community. All right, I'm going to back this up, and I'm going to bring this down to a level that we all have seen in some form, way, shape, or fashion to support this claim. I'm gonna start off by story time, okay? We're gonna have a little story. So I was maybe in the 9th or 10th grade at the time, and I took this computer class, and I sat next to this chick. Her name was Sierra, very beautiful. She just had this aura about her. And, you know, I would joke around and, you know, do everything a young boy in high school do to capture a girl, all right? So I'm making her laugh, I'm helping her with her stuff, and, you know, whatever the case may be. And I feel like she was vibing on me too. So I tried to take the next step up and say, hey, you know, can I get your number? Can we talk? You know, blase, blase, blase. And she looks at me and she's like, you're cute, you're just too young. And I'm like, too young? I think she was maybe on like a year older than me. I'm like, what you mean too young? And she was like, well, and I have a boyfriend. And my boyfriend is 24 and I live with him. And I'm like, I'm like, what? Cause in my mind, I don't really believe that, because I'm just thinking like, all right, she really don't want to let me down. Because at the time, I'm thinking in my 15-year-old, 16-year-old mind that maybe she just doesn't really want to hurt my feelings. So that's just the way of her that she just wants to let me down easy. Because at the time, I just couldn't visualize a grown man, 24, 25 years old, liking and wanting to be with a 15-year-old, 16-year-old girl at the time. I just couldn't picture that in my mind. And then how was she even able to move out of her house and move in with this guy without her parents saying anything about it? So it just didn't make any sense in my mind at the time. So I totally didn't believe it. So like whatever, I didn't really say nothing until, maybe 2 or 3 weeks later, I see her inside waiting on my ride. I see her and I speak, and I see her get in the car with this grown dude. And I knew it was her man because I'm like, I'm trying to speak, and she's just kind of like, hey, you know how a woman does when you say hey to her and then her man around versus when her man not around, she had that same type of energy. So I already knew that was the guy. And I'm like, she wasn't lying. And then I realized that this goes on. And there were a lot of females in high school that were 15, 16-year-old running around with guys that were 22, 23, 24, 25, grown men. And some of the fellas can attest to this. You know how you had those guys that maybe dropped out of school or that didn't go off to college or the military or didn't move away, just kind of stuck around and worked your little odd-end jobs that a lot of the younger kids couldn't work because they were in school and they still kind of had some high school friends. Those guys I'm talking about. The drug dealers kind of hung around, they get to be 22, 23, 24, 25 and older. Matter of fact, a lot of the chicks that were pregnant in high school at the time were pregnant by grown men, okay? And these chicks, they mess with grown men. Once they mess with a grown man, then they didn't mix and talk to the guys their age, all right? They just had a certain aura about them. So, similar to the situation I told you about the girl I had a crush on, it was a lot of these girls, a lot of these babies moving in with these grown men in their apartments. And a lot of these kids or these girls came from single mother households, black single mother households. Because I couldn't see a man being in the household with the mother and saying, okay, we're gonna allow our 16-year-old daughter to move out with this grown man. Okay, I just couldn't see that. A lot of these black women were responsible and perpetuated the r.kellys in the community, and they still doing this to this day. That's the hypocrisy and the fake outrage on a local level, okay? How you gonna get mad about these victims that you don't even know, and the same thing has maybe happened to your niece, or the same thing is going on with your daughter? And a lot of these black women mess with older men when they were 15, 16, or 17. Now, I know if you a black woman reach out, like I didn't never mess with it. I'm not talking about you, all right? But you probably knew somebody, one of your girlfriends back in high school that would mess with a grown man. Like a lot of these older men too, 40, 50 years old, getting these young girls pregnant because they're supporting, they tricking off on them. A lot of times because a young girl mind matures faster than a boy does, all right? That's scientifically proven. So some of the blame can be put on these young girls as well. Not to mention, a lot of these sexual consent laws in the state protect a lot of these dudes, because I grew up in Alabama, the age of consent is like 16 or something like that, where that's the legal age where a young girl is responsible enough to consent to sex. Now, I know some r.kelly victims may have been 15 or 16 or 17 or 18 by the time they figured out, and he been messing with them too. I know he a sicko, man, but I know a lot of times these laws protect these r.kellys. But a lot of these mothers and these black women perpetuate the ideal of their daughter seeing an older man, because a lot of times they have talked to and dated older men. Been going on, all right? It's been going on. I'm related to my own personal family tree. My great-grandma, I never got a chance to meet my great-granddad, all right? Because my great-grandmother got pregnant when she was like 14 or 15, okay? She's still young. But like in the 50s or 60s, she got pregnant by my great-grandfather. And he was like 50 years old at the time, 55 years old at the time. Back in the day, a lot of these great-grandmothers got pregnant by older men, 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds men. And some of those older men may have families on the other side of town, which led to her being a single grandmother. And they produced children, which are our current day grandmothers, and they mess with older men. So like it's just a long history around this. That's why I don't understand why the black community, and more in particular the black woman, are so outraged by this. Everybody knew R. Kelly was pissing on young girls, but y'all was still stepping in the name of love. Y'all was still listening to his music. So now y'all want to get mad again? Come on, man. Y'all, like, we can't do this. We can't do this. Because y'all see it going on all the time. And a lot of times, the black women perpetuate the idea, oh, you got your older man, ooh, you got those benefits, girl? Oh, I see you got you a sugar daddy. Go on, get what you can. He got how many cars? How many houses he got? Girl, you better get that. You better get what you can. Because let me tell you what it is. A lot of these black women, well, just the black community in general, have father issues, daddy issues. So a lot of these younger women are fulfilling a need as well by talking and dealing with these older men. Because similar to a father in a household, a lot of these younger women mess with these older men because they provide a sense of security, a sense of financial stability. They provide wisdom and advice. All of those things that a father would give to her daughter in a normal patriarchal household situation. So a lot of these women are playing a victim after the fact, but they know what's going on. They know what they're getting. Like that's the thing. But a lot of these dudes sick, and society allows it. So that's all I gotta say about this. I don't wanna make this video too long, but let's just start taking some accountability around here, man. Instead of just putting all the blame on R. Kelly. Come on, R. Kelly ain't holding nobody, man. Come on, this dude got tours and all this other stuff like that. If he was truly kidnapping, and these young girls were being controlled by the thought of being with R. Kelly, the money involved, the lifestyle that he provided, and a lot of their parents went along with it because of who he was. And the money they were getting, they were benefiting from it. So now the money dried up. I think R. Kelly lost 2 homes and maybe been going through some financial situation, lawsuits and so forth. Like now the money dried up, y'all want to make a Docu Series about it and perpetuate this idea when it's R. Kelly's running around y'all neighborhood? Come on, man. Y'all cut that out, man. Like, that's it. I'm gonna end the video here. If you like what you heard, subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment below. Have y'all seen R. Kelly's in y'all neighborhood? Like I said, a lot of these black women have messed with older men when they were in high school, all right? Or if they didn't, they knew their friend did. Because R. Kelly's running around all the time, man. Thank you for listening. If you like the video, like it, subscribe to the channel, comment below. Bama's very own, out.